Portsmouth is known for its deep and rich history. A seaport once home to ships, captains, and signers of the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, with churches where our first presidents sometimes worshipped. And it was also a harbor town in the earliest days of the slave trade, where young Africans who'd been stolen from their families were sold into slavery.
The first slave ship actually docked here in 1645. That's the first African that we have on record here.
A Black Heritage Trail began in Portsmouth in 1995 with over 20 markers across the city, forming a self-guided tour from those first slave ships to the Civil Rights Movement, illuminating that lesser-known but equally important piece of the fabric of our history. That trail continuously growing. In 2015, along Chestnut Street, the African Burying Ground Memorial Park was finally completed, honoring hundreds of African Americans buried here centuries ago on what was once the outskirts of town, in a segregated burying ground, their remains paved over and seemingly disregarded.
History is not hidden anymore. You know, it's out in the open, and it's a place for us to start the dialogue.
And now the stories are also shared in themed tours, guided by Sankofa scholars. Sankofa, an African word.
When there's been in our history something that, or in our community, something that was wrong, we can resolve the problem. We can make it better by not by forgetting it, but by going back and bringing it forward.
With the stories woven from details found in documents and diaries of real people, like Cyrus Bruce, who worked here for Governor John Langdon, a signer of the Constitution.
He was enslaved by someone else, and he escaped from that enslavement and became a paid servant in Langdon's household. Now, he married Flora Studley, who was owned by the Studley we talked about earlier, of Studley's Tavern.
Where there were slave auctions.
Yes, where there were slave auctions, and she actually was enslaved in that household.
Actor Kevin Wade Mitchell interprets the life of Jack Staines, a local black mariner with an eye into what it was like to be a sailor traveling in and out of this port in the late 1700s.
It's hard for a black sailor to get leave from the ship down south because the people that have their slaves, they don't want them to see a fancy dressed black man with freedom to roam around as he pleases, because they figure it might give him certain ideas of how he should live and he might try to escape.
Documents show Jack Staines was married to a woman named Ona Judge.
Ona Judge was enslaved to the Washingtons, George and Martha Washington, and she escapes from the president's mansion in Philadelphia and ends up here in Portsmouth.
Jerry Ann Bogus is the executive director of the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire, so named since 2016, to share stories from across the state.
Oh my gosh, the first black woman to publish a novel was in New Hampshire? Who knew? Or the first internationally known magician in Andover, New Hampshire, you know? Or that in Dover there was an opera singer who had a school, you know, who was a woman of color. You know, so these stories create different images of what we think black people are, people of color are, because they're right here, right in our neighborhoods with rich, vibrant stories.
Uncovering so many.
When we were looking at that, we said what we really need to do is do a statewide trail and connect these stories and share these stories, because so often New Hampshire is portrayed as and talked about as one of the whitest states in the Union.
There are many wonderful stories of men and women who lived in this community and brought with them traditions, values, and culture.
Like Rebecca and Dinah Whipple, who attended the North Church in Market Square, enslaved by Declaration of Independence signer William Whipple, who lived nearby. They started the Ladies African Charitable Society.
It was very important for them to know how to read, to know how to write, and to know math so that they could carry on the business needs of their owners.
So they were able to teach.
Exactly. Wow. They were able to teach children, and the field hands were less likely to have these skills. They could teach the field hands as well.
And in a nearby parking lot, the story of emancipated couple Pomp and Candace Spring, whose large home stood on the spot hundreds of years ago. Records show that while only 3 people lived there, it was filled with beds and food and clothing.
So maybe a house on the Underground Railroad, and we can't prove that, but all of that probate information suggests that Candace and Pomp were taking care of other people, sheltering them and helping them on their way to freedom.
Even the office of the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire was once the home of a church rector who listed enslaved Africans Jesse and Pompey as his possessions.
And I imagine that in the ancestral way, Jesse and Pompey are perhaps some of that energy that brought us to this particular building in Portsmouth.
Because this is your office
This
now.
is our office now, and the history starts at our door.
Hopefully, through knowing these stories, this just create these little spaces in our hearts that open up to see that people are, after all, just people.